Welcome back to New York Sports Wicker Media. I am Watsu-K99, and for the first time on this channel, I'm going to do a video about the New York Knickerbockers. Yes, this is my first non-Mets, Jets, or Rangers video. As of this recording, the NBA draft took place last night. It is in the books, and I have a few thoughts. First of all, you'll notice it's still the Mets banner behind me. I have the logo banners for the Mets, Jets, and the Rangers. I do not have yet one for the Knicks because, well, I really don't buy a whole lot of Knicks merch. In the last 25 years, I've really only bought two New York Knicks pieces of memorabilia. One I'm wearing right now, a Carmelo Anthony shirt, and I will admit I got suckered into Linsanity. I bought a blue Jeremy Lin shirt. I couldn't even tell you where it is anymore. So, as far as last night's draft goes, now, I gotta be honest, I was not overly familiar with these picks. I was not exactly excited. I saw that the Knicks, I knew that the Knicks were number 11 in the lottery. They didn't move up. What a surprise. They haven't moved up in the lottery since they drafted Patrick Ewing in the first ever NBA draft lottery. Forget even moving up to number one. The Knicks don't even get a chance to move up in the draft to get a better player. I knew they needed a point guard. That is something they are sorely lacking. Outside shooting ability and a good distributor of the basketball. So a legit point guard who can also defend on the perimeter would be vital. And Jaden Ivey is the guy that pretty much everybody you talk to, this is the guy they were talking about. Jaden Ivey, that is the best fit for the Knicks. So there were rumors that they were going to try to trade up to number 4, where the Sacramento Kings were going to be picking to try to pick him up. And so that was really the main thing that I was watching for. It was really Jaden Ivey and whoever else. I mean, you heard about A.J. Griffin from Duke, this guy Johnny Davis, the point guard from Wisconsin. But Ivey really seemed to be the prize. So the draft is going down, and I'm paying attention to it while I'm doing a Green Bean show. And things are starting to unfold. And number 4 comes in Sacramento, does not pick Ivey. They pick a different player. And so then comes the number 5 pick, and it's Detroit, and that's when I get the notifications they're going to get Ivey. So we pretty much all thought as Knicks fans that, well, the hope's gone. Let's see what else they could do. Let's see what the consolation prize is going to be with their first round pick. Then I started seeing reports that the Knicks were actually trying to still make a trade with Detroit to get Ivey and trade their number 11 pick as part of the trade. So there were like these rumors coming around that even after the pick was made, the Knicks might still have a chance to get him. Well, it didn't happen. It's like they were not going to do it. They were going to do it. They were not going to do it. It was like chasing a girl who just is giving you the same runaround. She knows she's never going to go out with you, but she's just playing you along for her own entertainment. That's pretty much what it felt like last night as the Knicks were trying to pursue Jaden Ivey, and it was pitiful to watch. So the number 11 pick comes, and they draft this guy from France, Ousmane Dieng, and we all know just the glorious history the Knicks have of drafting players from France. Frederick Weiss, Frank Ntilikina. Things happen in threes, they say. Well, this was going to be it. So Mr. Dieng gets the opportunity to go on stage. He puts on the Knicks cap. He's holding up the Knicks jersey with Commissioner Adam Silver as the boos are raining down in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. I figured he's a Knick already. He's already been indoctrinated in a way to the franchise. But within a minute or two of the Knicks making that pick, it was announced, look, this is not going to be kept by the Knicks. They're trading this pick to Oklahoma City, who has the number 12 pick. So I'm thinking, wow, maybe the Knicks are able to get that number 12 pick from Oklahoma and get an additional asset as well. So I'm starting to think about that now. And then it came out shortly after. Adrian Wojnarowski said there would not be the number 12 pick going to the Knicks. What they were going to do is they traded number 11 to Oklahoma City. And I'm going to run down through everything that the Knicks did last night. It is brutally confusing, so get a pen and paper out and start tracking this. So they traded number 11 to Oklahoma City for 3 first-round picks is what they ultimately got that Oklahoma City was in possession of. All 2023 first-round picks, one from Denver, one from Detroit, one from Washington, and they were all protected. So with the Denver pick, it's protected 1 through 14 in 2024 and 1 through 14 in 2025. So if the pick is 1 through 14, Denver would keep the pick. That is what that means. The second pick was from Detroit, and it was protected as well. Picks 1 through 18 in 2024, 1 through 13 in 2025, 1 through 11 in 2026, and 1 through 9 in 2027. So you know these picks are not going to be in the upper half of the draft. And the last pick was from Washington. It was protected as well. 1 through 14 in 2023, 1 through 12 in 2024, 1 through 10 in 2025, and 1 through 8 from 2026. So all these picks are protected, no matter what. So who knows when the Knicks are actually going to be able to use them, is my point. But actually, they're not going to get to use all of them. Why, you ask? I'll be glad to tell you. The Knicks immediately took that first pick from Denver, traded that along with 4 second-round picks. 4 second-round picks. Trade that to the Charlotte Hornets for the 13th pick, which came back to them. Oh, now they got the 13th pick. No, not so fast. They packaged the 13th overall pick with Kemba Walker to save some salary cap space. They traded those 2 assets to the Detroit Pistons for a 2025 first-round pick, which was owned by Milwaukee, which is protected in 2025 picks 1 through 4. So what does this ultimately mean? Well, in the next 7 years, the Knicks have 11 first-round picks and 11 second-round picks. That's what they're in possession of. Sounds great if you actually use those picks and are able to take a draft pick who can turn your franchise around, something the Knicks have not been able to do since they drafted Patrick Ewing. So at this point, here's where the Knicks stand overall. And also, why are they doing this? Why are they trading all these assets? They have $104 million in guarantees. They unfortunately were not able to trade away Julius Randle, which would have been just the icing on the cake last night. The cap is $122 million going into this year. So they have $18 million to work with. Plus, you want to sign Mitchell Robinson at center. At least I would like to. And if they don't want to trade Mitchell Robinson, there were 1 or 2 centers they could have drafted last night that they chose to not do. So everybody is saying that what the Knicks are planning to do is save salary cap space to sign away Jalen Brunson, the point guard from the Dallas Mavericks. Now, Brunson's a very good player. Last year, he averaged 16 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, or assists per game, excuse me. But he averaged 21.6 points per game in the playoffs. He really elevated his game as the Mavericks made a run to the Western Conference Finals, where they were eventually ousted by Golden State. But look at all the other connections that are going on here. Rick Brunson, Jalen's father, former Knicks guard back in the 90s. He's been hired as an assistant coach under Coach Tom Thibodeau. Leon Rose's son. Leon Rose basically is the president of the Knicks. Leon Rose's son, Sam Rose, is Jalen Brunson's agent. So it's really Brunson or nothing. I don't want any part of Kyrie Irving. Please keep that drama in Brooklyn. Please. He's about the last person I want to see on the Knicks. He spurned us once, so I think we should spurn him this time. So it's all about Jalen Brunson. And here's the thing. He's a good player, very good player, but they're not doing this for Donovan Mitchell. They're not doing this for Giannis, who they could have had a chance at, but Milwaukee already resigned him. But this feels like the Knicks are cashing in lottery tickets just to buy a bigger lottery ticket. There's no guarantee Brunson's going to come here. And if he doesn't, what then? What do they do then? I was feeling really good about the future direction of this franchise for the first time in a while. Last year, the offseason didn't go very well as they let some of their best defensive players go, like Reggie Bullock, and they brought in Evan Fournier, which did not work out. Also, signing Julius Randle to an extension has turned out to be a disaster. Not only has he disappointed on the floor, but he's a complete malcontent. He doesn't fit in at all. You really got to wonder what's going on. And the one thing that the Knicks did do last night is they drafted this kid, Trevor Keels, 18 years old, shooting guard from Duke, averaging 11.5 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, 2.7 assists per game. ACC all-freshman, he made that team. He's not the best shooter, but he's a very good passer. He drives to the lane well, plays pretty good defense, so he's a raw piece of talent that maybe Coach Thibodeau can work with. And he was ranked number 23 coming out of high school in the entire country. Didn't have a great first year with Duke, but he did help them get to the Final Four, and he had a very good game against Carolina in that semifinal, which Duke did lose. So That's pretty much where the Knicks are. Clearly, they're loading up for free agency for a class that's not exactly great. If they don't get Jalen Brunson, I mean, who knows? They might just sign a couple of guys on one-year contracts like they did Julius Randle and just see if that works. So that's about all I got for this episode of New York Sports Wicker Media. Please like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and I'll talk to you next time, coming to you from the one and only, the Wicker Chair.